The age of RNG appears to be over in Hypixel Skyblock as the admins unveil a new direction. On top of this, a ton of information has been revealed about how combat will change in the future versions of the game. My name is Derailious, and welcome back to Skyblock News. Let's get right into it. The main discussion point of this video is going to be the 1.0 design thread 8, based around RNG and combat that the admins released today. Essentially, this is going to go over the future of RNG and combat in Skyblock, and their direction is very radical. With RNG, they basically say that it's present in video games because it allows people to have different experiences than one another. In most games, it is the opposite of what the game needs, but because a Skyblock type game is based on the economy, trading is core to the gameplay, and that economy needs to be fueled by RNG. It creates supply and demand. Now the problems that they get into here is that RNG is not totally fair. If they have an item that has a 1 in 1,000 chance to drop, someone will get it on their 35th run, and someone will get it on their 4,000th run. This means that players will inherently be more unlikely to get items than others, and that means they are having a, basically, less fun time playing the game. The admins want to change this around, and basically add a limit on how unlucky players can truly get. They aim also to present goals better throughout the progression of the game, and provide players with the maximum time frame in which they will meet their goals. Basically, they want to respect your time more and make sure that you know how long you're going to spend, potentially, on getting that item that you want. Another reason that they want to do this is because of Iron Man players, which now represent 7% of the player base. This basically means that Iron Man has grown pretty successfully over the past few months, and although they don't want to design the game around the mode, they do care about the crazy people in the audience who are actually playing it. On top of this, they're also aware that it will increase the amount of rare items in the game, but frankly, they don't care. Originally, this was because the game was much smaller and had much fewer content choices. Now, though, they are very satisfied with the amount of time it takes to play through Skyblock, which means that they can spend much more time working on one-time content, quests, similar features to that like the Crimson Isle questline, and also reducing the total amount of time it takes to complete each instance of grindable content. We believe the game, for instance, will be better if it takes you less time to obtain the Slayer items that you need. I love all of this. This is very good stuff, and it will make the game better for pretty much all players. Moving on, we have combat, which is going to be changed in a decent way, and actually one that I think is pretty interesting. They state here that they don't actually want to add classes to the game, as they feel like they might be too, strict in terms of what it allows players to do. However, Masteries, which would be a little bit different, think of them like a Heart of the Mountain, but for the 3 types of combat, ranged, melee, and magic, they do want to add something like that. Essentially, you'll be able to swap between them and complete all of them, but only one will be active at any given time. The skill trees will be focused on implementing mechanics that enable different types of gameplay, so while they don't want to add classes to the game, you'll be able to specialize into a melee healer if you feel like it. Furthermore, deep inside those masteries, players will be able to select unique sub-masteries that will unlock different skill trees. For example, archery might lead to the ninja, marksman, and ranger sub-masteries. They hope to achieve an interesting learning curve and some fun theory crafting. I really like this too, once again. Big changes to the game, how it's going to fundamentally work, but if they're able to pull this off properly and create some interesting mechanics around it, I think this will be amazing for combat in the game. Moving on, we have healing, which is the final section. Essentially, they state that healing is far too easy currently. They can't create difficult content if you're able to fully heal in 5 seconds, so they have to increase the damage of monsters unreasonably, which is why at any stage of the game, you sometimes almost get one-shot by enemies. In the next few months, they're going to try something a little different. They're going to nerf a lot of your healing options, but they're also going to nerf the damage of enemies across the entire game. The goal is to get around the same difficulty level, except your health will slowly go down and heal back up, giving you more time to react. If this doesn't work, they won't release it to the live server, but they will experiment with various healing nerfs, and no, it will not include nerfs in the healer dungeon class. So basically this will not affect healers, which is fundamentally good. They are already a pretty weak class. Overall, all of these changes look incredibly important to the future of Skyblock. Masteries look like a great way to customize your character and generally improve your gameplay experience. The nerfing of enemy health is something that we need, and especially enemy damage when it comes down to how progression is going to work in the future. If you're getting one shot by everything whenever you're trying to improve, you're not going to be having as much fun. The extension of the RNG meter is going to make the game a lot more fair for all players, and generally allow Iron Man players to progress further, which is always a good thing. All of these changes are incredibly wonderful, and I can't wait to see them in the game over the next few weeks and months. As we end this video, I do want to give a special shout out to Glenz for completely changing out my character skin. I think it looks pretty nice, and I think it's probably the best skin I've seen for any YouTuber. That is definitely not a personal opinion or biased in any way. It is just correct, so thank you, Glenz. And yeah, that's about it. Thank you so much for watching this video till the end. Please make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you are new, and look to the future, fellas, because I will see you then.